It's all real.
This shit is getting real.
It's all real.
It's all, well, most of it's real.
You look good.
My
How do you
face
feel?
is real.
Tell me what that means.
Means that with Corona.
No Botox?
No, nothing. There's not a shot or injection in here right now.
Okay, I don't believe that. I don't.
Oh,
Think
but were you crazy? It's been 6 months. I mean, it's gone.
it's been 2 or 3.
Would you stop? It's June. I went in January.
Okay.
Who's counting? 5 months. I get an award.
Okay.
I'm like having no Botox like a champ over here.
Okay. Enough about you. What are you talking about today?
Andre Leontali. What
Yeah.
a fabulous name, first of all.
Start
And do you like
there.
how they say it? Andre Leontali. Like they make it very clear that his first name is Andre Leontali.
It's dramatic.
It's dramatic, just like him.
Yeah,
Because we know that he is all about drama.
he is. What else is he about?
Discipline.
He is.
And what are we about?
Drama and discipline.
Definitely drama.
Where did he learn his discipline?
From his grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
And you?
Where did I learn my discipline? From my father. My father used to wake us up at 5:30 in the morning. A small farm in the Midwest.
I know.
Yeah. My father used to wake us up at 5:30 in the morning to load hay trucks in the cold. And for the first, you hate him for the first 30 minutes, right?
Of course.
So you're working and you're pissed off for the first 30 minutes.
Cold and tired.
And then, yes. And then you get into process and you start figuring things out. So you apply yourself for the next 30 minutes. And then for the wrap up, you have a sense of reward.
Yes.
And you just started your day.
And it's kind of sporty and athletic, and yeah, you see
It
the
was
end
hell.
of it.
It was total hell.
I did it too. You
Yeah.
know, I'm from a small town in Saskatchewan,
I do.
and we had farms.
Okay, back to Andre Leontali.
He's much more fabulous than our farms.
You had 3 points that you wanted to focus on from the documentary that we watched. It's The Gospel According to Andre Leontali.
It's fabulous.
What are your 3 points?
Who is the director of it? Do we remember her name?
I
'Cause
think it's
she's-
Kate Novak or something like that. Am I flubbing?
She's phenomenal. She did a fantastic job. And yeah, we absolutely loved it. He's really, really wonderful. One of my favorite things that he said is that one has to cultivate one's own garden,
Yeah.
which to me means being your own individual and creating your own universe and style and kind of owning that. And he did that. You know, I think from his grandmother raising him and teaching him that sense of style and that sense of attention to detail and everything mattered and in a form of cleanliness is godliness. You know, he had that level of an upbringing
Yeah.
that helped him cultivate his own garden, where it was a fabulous garden. Like if Andre Leontali was a garden, it would just be
He
peas.
was. He totally was.
He was, yeah.
When you're
Yeah.
talking about his grandmother taught him dignity and values,
Yes.
1, striving for excellence, 2, rigor and discipline. She also taught him maintenance, cleanliness, which is next to godliness, as he stated. But the interesting part of it is he's talking about rigor, discipline, cleanliness, and then he's talking about maintenance, which speaks long term. It's not about what legends are not built in a day. It takes a long time to create a legend.
Right.
And he certainly did over 30 or 40 years of a career. So it's dignity and values is what he learned from his grandmother. It is striving for excellence. It's rigor, discipline, and then it's maintenance of all of those things,
Absolutely.
which I think is absolutely great. So that's your first point. Second point, what did you have?
Well, at the end of the first point is that when you do cultivate that world of, I would say, fabulousness, basically, is what it was when I look at him, that you share it with the people that you love. You know, that when you actually take that time and effort, I think the people that you bring into your world, are worth it, are valuable. And Andre Leontali did that. You know, he entered into all of these worlds of fashion, of all the different designers, yet he only had a few really, really close to him, which you saw in the documentary. Like, I feel that Diane Vreeland was like his his mother in a way. You know, he kept her so close, and there was such a connection. You know, so
She was very similar as far as her values to his grandmother. So they were nearly the same person, although they came from totally different worlds. So that was interesting also.
Yeah.
When you are talking about he had just a few close people around him, I've been reading a lot while we're home.
Yes.
And we've been home.
We've been home.
Love all,
Yes.
trust few,
Correct.
and hate no one.
Oh, I like
It's
that.
kind of the thing.
That's your new saying.
That's my new thing, and I've used it for several weeks. But really, it plays into what you're describing. Of he trusted a few core people.
Exactly.
So just love everybody.
Like, love everyone.
Trust a few. That's your
Right,
core group.
right.
And then just if you don't like it, don't worry about it.
And be a flower.
Step over it.
He was really. If you saw Andre Leon or during the documentary,
Yeah.
you see that he's never grouchy. He's never bitchy. I mean, granted, it's a documentary, but you can just tell by his energy, his warmth, his zest for life and fashion and creativity and embracing people and promoting people and.
He operated with
He
optimism.
Operated with
optimism.
a kind heart,
Yeah.
a generous heart, a supportive heart, and you rarely heard a negative word at all. So
Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
Continue
in
with
him a
drama.
lot.
Drama you have stated as his individualism. So his drama as an individual created the icon.
Which is
Take
beautiful
over.
because normally people that you say someone's dramatic, it's because they're like crazy or negative or
Train
jumping,
wreck.
pouncing on people.
Yeah.
His drama was good drama.
Yeah.
You know, it was all about
Showmanship.
Exactly. So I think it's phenomenal.
What's your third?
The other thing I loved was that it's something Anna Wintour said, and we
Mm-hmm.
love Anna, don't we?
Okay.
So Anna said that basically, well, there was two things actually, but one of them was that nobody really needs another handbag or sweater or a coat, which is interesting to hear from her because we always have the must-haves in Vogue, but that's another story. But she said that somehow Andre gave people the feeling that they needed or wanted.
He gave emotion to the shows. When he talked about the shows, when he talked about the
Yes.
clothing or the handbag, as you say,
Yes.
he gave emotion to it, which when he speaks, he says he was creating the dream.
Yes.
And he was relating the dream. And it wasn't just an item, it was a dream. And he wanted people to live bigger than life, which is certainly
Yes.
what he did.
And how wonderful to have somebody that makes you dream,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and also just puts that dream out there for you to enjoy.
Yeah,
You know, there's
everything for me relates to sales. So when you're talking about the dream, it reminds me of the moment that Tamron Hall says, "This is the dress that I dreamed of," and I realized in sales you need to show them and sell to them and let them take home what they dreamed of. Don't show and sell what you like. Don't show and sell
What they need to have.
what they need to have.
Yeah.
Show them and sell them what their dream is.
Absolutely.
And then you have a loyal client for life too.
And then it's emotional and they're connected and they enjoy it. You know, I mean, everything we're doing in life, every second, every purchase, where we go, every person we're around, every second of every day should be a pleasure.
Yeah. We talked about this documentary yesterday, and I saw a training template that I use for sales teams. And it's just 3 points. We speak in threes, show in threes, sell in threes. Everything in threes. And so the training template is the appearance of excellence, the actions of excellence, and the aftermath of excellence. And when I saw that, I'm like, this was the Andre Leon documentary. The appearance of excellence was represented when he said, it's a moral code to dress well. If you're going to be memorable, you have to be dramatic, like you say, or have the memorable moment.
Things have to matter.
They do.
Things have to matter. And to him, it didn't
They
just
do for
matter.
you, don't
it was,
they?
Oh, everything matters. I mean, I feel it through my soul.
So the appearance of excellence counts. He also spoke about the actions of excellence, and that was relative to what his grandmother taught him, having dignity and values, striving for excellence, having rigor and discipline, and then maintaining all those parts. So that's the actions of excellence. And then the aftermath of excellence is the results. And when you watch the documentary, you realize that his grandmother prepared him for his meeting with Diana Vreeland.
Absolutely.
When he met with Diana Vreeland, he was putting together a dress for a show at the Met as a volunteer, and the dress came in all parts of these metal pieces that had to be assembled. And she saw it, and then she saw the end result. And when
And
she
it was like a jigsaw puzzle, right? Of like metal,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's exactly right. So she's doing the walkthrough, and he's hiding behind a column after he had finished preparing the dress, because at that time he could hide behind a column. And when she walked through, someone came back in 2 minutes and said, Mrs. Vreeland wants to see you. And she called him in the office and says, I want you to stay beside me, by my side, for the duration of this show. And following the show, she gave him the interview with Interview Magazine and launched his career. And then he went to WWD Paris and all of that.
Rest is history.
But his grandmother prepared him. So the aftermath of excellence is when you give credence to the appearance of excellence, the actions of excellence, the reward will always be there. And that's a great thing that we saw and we learned about his life. You feel good?
Yes, and you know what? We can actually say we really love Andre. I think he's a great guy.
We do.
We do.
We do.
Big admiration for him.
Big. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.